Hi, I'm Plami, and in this episode of Ready K, I'm gonna be reacting to SF9's new comeback, Trauma. And I swear, I literally reacted to them very recently. I mean, at this point, it might be like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and back then when I reacted to the song, it was probably maybe like a month after it was released, but didn't I just react to their comeback very recently? Didn't they literally come back very recently? Why the rush for another comeback? It's always so weird whenever groups come back in a quick succession, either at the beginning of the year or at the end of the year, instead of spacing out their comebacks throughout the year. I never understand that, honestly, why they do that. But anyway, I'm interested to check it out, as usual. Maybe it's gonna be something that I'm gonna like, maybe it's not gonna be. For SF9, I feel like more often than not, they don't really impress me as much as I want them to, but their music is fine, like I enjoy it just fine. It's just that they're not like one of my favorite boy groups or anything. But hey, who knows, maybe this one's gonna be an amazing masterpiece. So without further ado, let's get into it and find out in 3, 2, 1. I personally liked SF9 more when they were doing the Oh Sole Mio and Mamma Mia sound. That's when I first found them, actually. Because after those songs, the only time when I really liked a song of theirs was Enough. That song is still probably my favorite song of theirs. But yeah, this one is fine so far. And I think even their last song, was it Teardrop? I think I liked it from what I remember. But I haven't listened to it, I haven't really had the time to listen to it after the reaction. Damn, I somehow I haven't realized that SF9 has such distinct rappers. Interesting. Yeah, this song definitely gets some interesting choreo. I feel like fans are gonna love this one. And I definitely agree that this is one of their best songs, or one of their better songs. I honestly kinda like it too, but again, it's nowhere near as mind-blowing as I want it to be. And maybe expecting each song that I react to from every group that I react to be mind-blowing is to have an expectations, but that's just kind of how I feel about it. Like, that's the thing with SF9's music, at least after the song Enough. Their music is not bad. I just kinda, I guess, personally don't really care too much about it. It doesn't really do it for me that much. So I want to ask you this. Do you want me to continue doing reactions for them? Comment down below, because I mean, I feel like, especially with most of my recent reactions, I feel like I've been very negative to a lot of songs, and I haven't really been praising them or reacting with a lot of enthusiasm. So my question is, do you guys want me to continue reacting to groups who, more often than not, I find myself not liking their music? I really want to know what you think about it. Because I don't mind reacting to these kind of songs, because you never know when you're gonna get a really good song. And even doing these K-pop reactions, I found quite a lot of groups and songs that I never would have found otherwise. So for me, it's been a net positive. But I don't want to spread negativity out there. So I just want to know what you think about it. Do you want me to continue doing reactions to groups and songs that I clearly am not gonna like? I'm really curious what you think about that. But yeah, going back to the song, I think it's fine. Like, I even enjoy parts of it, and I think the choreo is really cool. But I don't know. I'm just not really into it that much. And I'm probably not even gonna listen to this song after the reaction, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't really know. I guess let's just get into it a second time and see if I'm gonna feel better about it, and maybe we're gonna talk about the song more during the reaction. So yeah, let's get into it again in 3, 2, 1. This one is kind of in the same vein for me as Teardrop. It has its good sides, but I just, for the most part, don't really care about it. At least it's better than songs like RPM, which for me, no, it just was not good. This one definitely sounds better than RPM. I think the thing that I like the most about this song is probably the choreography, because it's interesting and it's more complex. And again, I like parts about this song. I like the part where they beat trauma. That is actually kind of cool. But I feel like it would have been just cooler if they went for a more impactful. Like, that's the thing with a lot of songs that I've criticized recently. A lot of the songs just don't feel impactful enough. Maybe that's just the nature of how one feels after they react to 500 K-pop songs. And it's definitely more than 500 songs that I've reacted to. I've just done 500 episodes of Rate the K. Maybe I'm a little burned now. I don't know. And also the outfits are cool. Like, the outfits I actually really like. Those outfits with that choreo, really awesome. And the song, I think it's already grown on me a little bit. But I don't really think I'm gonna listen to it much afterwards. But it is growing on me. I want to make sure you know that. The chorus is really growing on me. I think this one might be a little bit more memorable than Teardrop. But I also haven't really listened to Teardrop after the reaction because I've had no time, so I can't really tell for sure. And yeah, I definitely think the fans are loving this song, especially because of the choreography. It's definitely exactly the kind of choreo that fans love. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't know really. Again, maybe I've just become jaded or maybe burned out a little bit because of listening to so many songs and reacting to songs all the time. But yeah, I don't know. It definitely started to get much better on the second listen, and I was actually kind of getting into it towards the end of the reaction here. But still, it's nowhere near as good as I want it to be and as memorable and impactful as I want it to be. I essentially am looking for another song like Enough or another song like O Sole Mio and Mamma Mia. That's kind of the two types of song that I like from them. And maybe Easy Love, I think that's the name of the song. I like that a lot as well. I just feel like their most recent concepts and most recent sound change, because they've changed their music a lot over the years, it's just not that interesting to me. I kind of grew to love their original sound that they debuted with, even though at first I didn't like it. I really enjoyed O Sole Mio and Mamma Mia, so I thought that was a very unique sound that they decided to do with those songs. And Enough as well was like a really good song. It reminded me a lot of 17's music, but I really liked it a lot because it was like a very dramatic but also very hard-hitting kind of song. But afterwards, they just haven't really managed to hit it for me. And honestly, that is probably my fault, because I don't think their music has been bad afterwards. I just haven't really gotten as much of an impact from it, you know? Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Probably you disagree with me, which is fine, but I am curious to hear what you guys think about it. Maybe you're gonna change my opinion in some way. And maybe if there are some B-sides of SF9s that you think are gonna be more appealing to me, comment them down below. I'll be really happy to check them out, because I like this group. But it's just that their title tracks haven't really been doing it for me. And yeah, in terms of a rating for this song, as I said, I think it's good for them. It's just that personally, I'm not really into it that much. But in terms of a rating, I'm honestly gonna give it an 8.9 out of 10. With potentially getting up to as high as a 9.4 out of 10, but for that I will have to listen to it a few more times to decide, and we don't have the time for that, so I'm gonna stick with an 8.9 out of 10. Yeah, it has its good sides, and it's probably the best song of theirs that I've listened to since Enough, unless I'm forgetting some other song that I really like, but I would say that it's the best song that I've listened to since Enough, but I still don't really care about it at the end of the day, personally. But if you enjoyed, that is completely fine. Not every song has to appeal to me. It's completely fine for groups to appeal to other people as well. That's why I love K-pop, because there's everything for everybody. But yeah, before we end this video, as usual, I want to give a huge shout out to my currently 3 patrons on Patreon: Mario Bridgman, Deadpool, and Lemonade. Thank you guys for your support. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me that you have decided to support me, and I hope you stay over there for a long time. And now, before we end this video, I just want to talk about something to you guys very quickly, which some of you may or may have not noticed before or know about me, that being the fact that I am trans. And yes, this may come as shocking to some of you, because I don't really flaunt it that much on my channel, or at least I feel like I don't. Outside of like my K-pop reactions, which is where I feel like the most comfortable being myself like this. And yeah, I am in fact trans. I'm not necessarily full-on male to female, but I heavily want to transition to being pretty female. I do consider myself more non-binary though, or maybe gender fluid would be the best descriptor as well, because I do have occasional moments where I feel fine being like just a normal guy, but most of the time, like
right now I do feel very dysphoric. And that's why I'm asking you guys for any help that you can give me, because my situation right now, I don't really see any way outside of you guys' help. Because, and this is gonna be kept short and concise, I live with my parents. They're never going to accept me as a trans person. They just never will. And as a matter of fact, back when I started the YouTube channel, I was actually kind of slightly starting my transition back then, with like starting to grow out my hair. I even got to DIY HRT, but because my parents started noticing certain things, like my behavior had changed a lot and my clothes had changed a lot, I kind of had to stop doing that, because they were constantly nagging me about cutting my hair and just started to kind of be threatening in a certain way, and felt like they were ashamed of me and everything. And that kind of stress just tired me out to the point where I just gave up. But as dysphoria goes, it just doesn't go away, you know. I still feel like this, and in fact it's somewhat been intensifying again recently, so I just wanted to share this with you guys. And again, I would really appreciate any amount of support you can give me in regards to this, because I just don't see any way out of this. Because even if I moved out of my parents' house and got myself a job and everything, that's just not gonna work for long-term planning, because once I transition, it's like I probably will not be able to get myself a job, because my country is very transphobic. Nobody gives a shit about LGBT people at all. So there's not even much I can do, even in terms of transitioning here. So yeah, I don't know. I just would appreciate any amount of support you can give me, be it monetarily or in any way otherwise. And this is not about boosting my channel or anything, or guilt tripping you with my sob story. I just wanted to get this off my chest and make my subscribers aware of the situation that I am in, and that I would appreciate anything that you guys can help me out with. It would mean literally everything. Like, for example, a friend that I made after starting this YouTube channel, my good friend Yuri, has been helping me out a lot. And I genuinely might have not been here if it wasn't for him showing up and befriending me. So yeah, this just went a little bit longer than I intended, but I would just really appreciate anything you can support me with. That's kind of ultimately what I'm trying to say.
And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, check out the links in the description to my Twitter if you want to follow me over there, and to my Wattpad where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you don't enjoy my stories, or you simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon or my Ko-fi account, where you can pledge support and help get the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing the stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think it's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!